Hello again, people. Welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. After numerous calls and emails and questions that could very well have been answered had I made this video months ago, I have decided to quit procrastinating and finally make a video for this property. You're welcome. Here we go, guys. This is reference number RANM-0001L like Larry, located up in Rio Arriba County in the northern part of the state. This is in the Chama River Estates subdivision, and it is a scooch under 1.5 acres, combination of two adjacent lots totaling 1.44 acres. As you saw up top, this property is now priced at $3,500. We recently reduced the price. And before I bring this up on a map, I just want to let you guys know, drone video up here at the top of the page will be moved to the bottom of the page below the photo gallery. That being said, if you watch this, it's going to give you an excellent sense of the property, the terrain, the surroundings, and exactly how pretty this region of the world is. So I'd encourage you guys to take a look at that. With all that said, let's bring this up on a map. As with all of our properties, come back down here, click any one of the GPS coordinates, and on Google Maps, it shall appear. So first off, let's go to map view, pull back, and talk about where this is in Planet New Mexico. As noted earlier, guys, this one sits up in Rio Arriba County, which is just south of, it borders Colorado, so the property is just south of Colorado. In fact, if we right-click and measure distance, you can see that this is a quick shot up the 64, the 17, roughly about 20 minutes into the neighboring state to the north. The property itself sits very close to Tierra Amarilla. Tierra Amarilla is the county seat of Rio Arriba County. So in this region, if we go back to satellite view and kind of zoom in, you're going to see it's not a densely populated area. It's not like there's like a Walmart here or anything, but you're going to have pretty easy access to a number of just sort of stores, little grocery stores, little shops, things like that. Also, the courthouse is out here. You've got the volunteer fire department over here, the sheriff's station, etc. The high school football field you can see from space. Go Lobos. So schools in the region, etc. But quiet small town living out here up in picturesque northern New Mexico. Now, the area that you see carved out here on the map, this is the Chama River Estates right here. It's a small subdivision. And the subject property itself, which again is a combination of two lots, sits right here at this corner where these two roads meet. Now, of course, if we go back to map view, you're not going to see this property outline. The plat overlay is not here on Google Maps. But if you come back to the listing page and scroll down here, we have first our Google Earth representation of the size, shape, location of the property, and then helpfully we have the plat map itself to give you guys a sense that yes, there is road access along both this end of the property as well as this end, northern and eastern sides of the property. Now, with all that said, a couple things I want to point out about this. Number one, Chama River Estates, this subdivision, there's no utilities out here. Closest utilities, and they're pretty close, are here and here and here. I mean, the town of Tierra Amarilla is right here. So utilities are pretty close, but as far as from the subject property to nearest utility is roughly, let's say, half a mile. Okay. Now, I anticipate this is the kind of property you guys are looking at as a camping property, as an RV type of property, not necessarily a place that you're going to build a house. If, however, you are going to build a house, this is a consideration that you're going to have to take into consideration, which is that utilities are roughly about a half mile away, so they're going to have to get extended out, and you'll probably want to talk to the power company about that. That's number one. Number two, if you guys are going to go out and scout this property, and as always, we encourage our buyers, please go take a look at these things. You're going to give us this kind of money, familiarize yourself with the land if you can, if you're close enough. If not, we have a number of resources here on the website, but if you can go out there, please do. So if that is your intention, a couple things I want to show you. There are numerous points of ingress and egress to this property. The most obvious one here is this road that leads back to the 573. So I just want to drop the little guy on the map here and show you what is out here. So this entrance has a gate. My understanding is this gate is open pretty much all day till about 5 o'clock. Then they close the gate. So that's one way to try it. If you get out there after 5 o'clock or if you get out there and the gate is closed, here's another way that I encourage you guys to check out. Coming back up here by the 485, the 485 where it meets the 573, if you take the little man here, drop him on the map again, you're going to see what this looks like. This area itself does not have a gate. It has some fencing up here, fencing along here, but overall this seems like a pretty good access point to get you in if the other one is not. If, for whatever reason, both of those are barring access, let me point out another one to you, which is this area over here. Hang on, I'm going to lose it. This area over here, right where the sheriff's office and the fire department is. Again, if you take a little man on the map here, drop him right here. You can see that right here off the 162 is another entrance that you can use into this region, etc. So Things to keep in mind, numerous points of ingress and egress. There's a few others here through the forest, through the mountains. If you really hate your car, go that way. I won't bore you with the route. I'll let you eyeball it on Google Maps and figure it out, but there are ways to get in there. Now, at the time that I had originally listed this property, I listed it with a handful of others, and I made videos for all of those properties, and then I got tired of saying the exact same thing in each one. And I figured it wasn't necessary because I'd already made so many. And then all of those sold, relatively fast, and now this one has sat for some period of time. The other reason, however, that I've been lax with this is because I think this is a pretty, really nice region of New Mexico itself. It doesn't really need me to talk about it. That being said, because it apparently does, I'm just going to walk you guys through a few things that I really like about this area out here. So, number one, as noted, you're very close to town. You're very close to the sleepy small town of Tierra Amarilla. So you're going to have, easy access here to groceries, things like that, groceries and supplies. But additionally, the property sits in very close proximity to a couple of notable features. Number one is the Rio Chama River. This is an excellent area for fly fishing. This river is known for its fly fishing opportunities. So you're going to have that right there in your backyard, number one. Number two, as you can see, these giant splotches of blue on Heron Lakes, specifically the Heron and Vado Lakes. These are state parks. If you own a boat, great, you can take it out here. If you don't own a boat, you can come out here and you can rent one. Whatever the case, these are essentially right here in your backyard, so easy access to boating and fishing and jet skiing and whatever else you want to do out there. Should also be noted that Abbey Q Lake, I was recently corrected on my pronunciation on this, Abbey Q Lake is right down here along the 84. So a quick drive down here to this, to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum, etc. Really right in your backyard. Now, it should also be mentioned that the Navajo Marina up here, second largest body of water in the state, this is relatively close by as well. This area actually kind of caters to its tourists a little better than these do. They have more things that you can rent out here, more sort of fun activities for the lakes, things like those big giant party boats, things like that you could take advantage of. Now, as noted, my guess is you guys are looking at this as an RV or as a camping property. If you're going to build out here, however, I should note this is not just a seasonal property. It's not best just enjoyed in the spring and summer because you've got easy access to the Taos Ski Valley, relatively, close by. You're just taking the 64 over here into nearby Taos. This is roughly, I think, something like an hour away. Let's see. About an hour away as the crow flies. So, you've got easy access to some of the best skiing in the country there, and then Telluride, nearby Telluride, as we like to point out in these videos, is very close by over here, nearby in southern Colorado, etc. Now, once more, it should also be pointed out that over here in Chama, you're going to have access to some upscale hunting retreats. This is a great area in general to go hunting, as far as elk, mule deer, turkey, things like that, bear, I believe, as well. But up here in Chama, you've got some upscale hunting retreats. Now, here on the listing page, we have links to all these things I'm discussing, various lakes, the state parks, etc., the marina, etc. But Timbers at Chama is one of these, and Fishtail Ranch is another. And if you click on these, it's going to bring up their respective websites, and you can read more about the hunting opportunities that are offered out here if you are a hunter, if you are into that sort of thing. Excuse me, northern New Mexico is a great place to take advantage of that. So please feel free to explore these websites, etc. Now, in all of my talking, I have forgotten to show you guys the photo gallery down here at the bottom of the page. As with all of our properties, we get pictures taken from the land itself. So these are not just some random images we pulled off Google search. These are from the actual GPS coordinates. So this will give you a sense, number one, of what the roads are like out here. I mean, this looks fairly easy to navigate by any vehicle type. My guess is, and my photographer had reported, that you're going to want probably a larger vehicle the first couple times that you try this. Something that's off-road capable, something that can handle, if it's rained out there. But as you can see going through this, number one, really pretty area, really pretty, really picturesque. And also the land itself, it's got some brush on it, but it's also relatively flat. It's not going to be a difficult place to park an RV or park a trailer or a mobile home, something like that, or even just to camp out here on the property. So yeah, but really pretty region out here. And as you scroll through the photo gallery, you can get a good sense of what it is like out here, what these gorgeous mountain views are like. And then, as noted earlier, we're going to have the drone video set up down here. If you haven't had a chance to watch that yet, that will give you some good high-angle shots like this of the valley itself. And yeah. Anyway, with all that said, a couple of things I just want to point out. In regards camping out here, in regards to using an RV, Arriba County has fairly laid-back zoning laws. Everything out there is basically classified as rural residential, which doesn't, they don't go into a lot of detail on that. But the point is that if you do want to camp out there, if you do want to RV out there, They've got a limit on it of 3 months, and then you need to get some kind of permit or some kind of permission to continue being out there. My understanding is that that's really contingent on how well or how poorly you've disposed of waste. If you have any questions about that, I encourage you guys to reach out to Arriba County Planning and Zoning. They'll be able to answer more questions about that. Their contact information, their website are down here. That's number one. Number two, I also like to recommend, if this is a property that you're looking at as something that you want to build on, it's going to be a good idea to talk to the local power company in advance of that, number one. Number two, the state engineer. State engineer in New Mexico is the office that controls water rights for residential or commercial wells in the state. So if you do imagine that you're going to be drilling a well out there, and that's probably likely, based on the amount of residences that you see in this area, it's safe to assume that the water table is fairly accessible. Excuse me. Safe to assume the water table is fairly accessible. That being said, reach out to local well drillers, vendors, people who do this for a living. If that's your plan, if that's your aspiration, find out what that's going to cost you in advance before you buy this property. It's a good thing to investigate to figure out what the costs are associated with something like that, with drilling a well out here. As noted with the bodies of water that sit nearby, the homes that are in this region, it's probably not difficult, it's probably not expensive to access that, but it's the kind of research you want to do in advance. And as noted, aside from all that, we also have some helpful links in here as to nearby attractions, things you can do in this region. If this is a property that you are interested in purchasing, guys, it's very easy to do. Just come up here on the website, click the Buy Now button. It's going to take you to a secure checkout page. We're going to ask you for the $3,500 plus the $150 doc prep fee. You enter the name or names that you want on the property for the deed, tax address, where's Arriba County going to send their measly $10 annual bill each year for these two lots, and agree to the terms of service. On the next page, you can enter your credit or debit card information, and voila, you are now the owner of the property. We are the owners of the property, and once you give us money, as far as we are concerned, you may do as you please. Go out there, knock yourselves out, have a party, start camping, start building, start doing whatever. Practically speaking, it'll be about 3 weeks before you have a recorded deed in your hand. The way that works is once you give us money, within 24 hours, we're going to have a deed to you in an email. Once you approve it, once you say everything's good, we're going to autograph it, notarize it, mail it off to the county to be recorded. And once the county records, they will forward it along to you. So as noted, about 3 weeks before that's in your hand, but also as noted, once you give us money, the property is yours to do with as you please. With all that said, thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any follow-up questions, feel free to leave a comment here on the YouTube. Shoot us an email, support@hemingwayland.com, or give me a call, 702-919-7170. Sorry it took me so long to get a video up on this listing page, guys. I apologize, but hopefully this was informative. All right, guys, thanks for watching.